Without a question, our president of the AFL-CIO, Rich Trumpka, stated on occasion, so as previous president John Sweeney, that this is the most important partnership of labor management in the country.
This is not your typical First Amendment audit. The footage I'm showing is from an audit. However, I will be exposing what we discovered in our preparation. I went to audit a U.S. Department of Energy property and found the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, local number 77, ostensibly committing property tax fraud. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know I didn't just stop digging when I found this. It looks to me like IBU local number 77 received this property from the Department of Education for free. Watch the full report to see the details. Originally, this was supposed to be an audit of the Hammer Federal Training Center. The Department of Energy uses this facility to train Hanford workers and their own departmental security force. After 9/11, this training center has become a jackpot for defense contractors. A group of them even created an LLC called Mission Support Alliance. This group, MSA, was awarded a 10-year contract for over $3 billion to manage Hanford in 2009. These contractors were all involved with Hanford before that. The difference is now we just dump the money in their laps and let them do as they please with it. This is ruling class privilege at work. As I mentioned before, Hammer is a training center for Hanford, and after 9/11 it became a center to train military units, first responders, Homeland Security, and others involved in defense to respond to radiological events or attacks. Of course, they still train Hanford workers, but the real money lies in defense. While looking up the GIS info for this audit, I noticed the property next to it highlighted in this map. As I mentioned before, this belongs to IBU local number 77. The property is registered to Hands-On Training Specific Scenario, referred to as HOTS from here on out. The registered agent of HOTS is listed as Lewis Walter. Also listed is IBU local number 77. Lewis Walter is listed as the business manager and financial secretary of IBU local number 77 in Seattle. The property was originally acquired through the Federal Real Property Assistance Program and the Department of Education. Through that program, you can acquire government surplus property if you agree to provide educational services with a nonprofit 501c3 organization or tax-supported entity over a consecutive 30-year period. This property was originally acquired in 2005 by a 501c3 under the name National Utility Training Services. With the information I have so far, this transaction seems legit. I am waiting to view the original application for the property. I have submitted a FOIA request for the application, which has been sent to the proper department within the Department of Education. In reviewing the deed for the sale of the property in 2005, there are a lot of stipulations to the deal. The more important ones being, for a period of 30 years, the property must remain in the name of a tax-supported or 501c3 tax-exempt entity. It must continually provide the educational services outlined in the application. It cannot lease or sublease the property without prior approval. Any changes to the original application must be approved, and a report after the first year and then every 2 years after that on the general operations is to be filed with the Department of Education. In 2009 is where things take a turn for the worse. The property was transferred to an LLC called Northwest Utility and Education Center. Now we have a property that is only supposed to be owned by a tax-supported entity or a 501c3 transferred to an LLC. IBU local number 77 even asked to be released from the contract with the Department of Education for the property. This was signed off on by the Department of Education because the original nonprofit was dissolving and IBU local number 77 promised to continue the education it was providing. This is where the Department of Education decides to just hand the property over. According to the county assessor's office, it was in 2011 when the property owner stopped paying property taxes. Then in 2013, the property is transferred to HOTS, the LLC it is currently registered to. For all the finer details of the deed and these transfers and ownership, check out our first video on the subject. The link is in this description. I called the Hammer facility to see if they are using any of the 2 buildings on the 69-acre HOTS property. They informed me they don't use any of the buildings. I was told the buildings are now used by Regional Education and Training Center, or RETC. I contacted Bob Topping with RETC and found that they provide some training courses at the facility in Richland. He sent me a list of courses offered. The training center offers 6 different courses there: project management, safety and hazard prevention, solar power design and efficiencies, fall protection, equipment check and electrical safety. Of those 6, 4 are listed word for word as training courses on the Hammer website. They are listed as courses provided by Hammer, not RETC. Here's a video from the Hammer YouTube site on the fall protection course. Look at the building. Does it look like it might be either of the 2 shown in this Google Maps view of the IBU property?
Hi, I'm Jim Gammon. We probably all know someone who's been a victim of a slip, trip, or a fall. Those types of accidents cause a heavy toll for our workforce. In fact, recently, we had one of our workers who broke several ribs as a result of a fall. Run your people through our slip simulator. Give us 90 minutes of your employees' time, and we'll provide them the techniques and the skills to be able to recognize and prevent those types of accidents from occurring.
Here at Hammer, we put science into practice through the use of kinetic learning to help reduce injuries from slips and falls. Initially, we have students trying to attempt to walk normally across the simulator. Through coaching based upon the latest scientific research, we can help students learn how to walk safely across a slippery surface.
But so you want to walk flat-footed. All right, go ahead, flat-footed. All right, good center of gravity. Now you want to look up, get your head up. Good.
Bob answered a few more of my questions, informing me they have been using the Richland site since 2014, and RETC is leasing the entire property from IBU Local Number 77 through the end of 2018. RETC is involved with one more thing at the property. There's a state-of-the-art solar project going in here. It is called Horn Rapids Solar Storage and Training Project. It is a partnership between energy companies and research institutions to study and train workers on solar energy and storage. A press release for the project states the site will be built on property leased by RETC from IBU Local Number 77. RETC's involvement in the project is to provide some training courses. IBU Local Number 77 is listed as a partner as well. I have contacted IBU Local Number 77 about their involvement in the solar project and have received no response. At this point, from everything I have read, it appears their only involvement is they own the land. I know that is a lot to take in. Hopefully you were able to follow along okay. To close, we know IBU Local Number 77 got the property from the Department of Education for free. We also know they now own it under an LLC, breaking the 30-year contract in the original deed for the property. Another thing we confirmed is the property tax exemption they are claiming and receiving from Benton County is not one an LLC qualifies for. It looks like more nefarious things are also going on, but I don't quite have enough evidence yet. It appears as though RETC is taking money from Hammer to run training courses on the IBU property. It also appears IBU Local Number 77 is taking money in the form of a lease to RETC for the property, another no-no on the original deed. I have a feeling there is a lot more to this. I'm still finding out more information and will give updates as I can. Like and share this video, comment, and let me know what you think. Do you think I'm right, or am I just way too suspicious? I have included links to sources and websites if you want to check it out for yourself. If you like our content, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified of new updates. Thanks again for watching, and arm yourself with all the knowledge you can.
Yeah.